Shay McCoy, Senior Class President, will deliver the first commencement address, followed in turn by Brinda Gurumurthy and Bridget Marr.
So I got a sore throat this morning, so you just have to bear with me. There's a phrase that my friends and I like to use a lot. It's a good day to be a Dev. To all the friends and extended family in the audience, Dev is our affectionate abbreviation for Devil, the school mascot. It's a good day to be a Dev. I've been thinking a lot about what this means. Graduation and its surrounding hype spur a lot of reflection, throughout which I've considered over and over again on how to define this community. How to define being a part of it. What Ridge High School has given me, what I've given Ridge High School, and why when you're a Dev, there are so many good days. Being a Dev is losing your voice at a football game, at a chorus concert, at the prom. It's Monday morning Starbucks and Chicken Finger Wednesday. It's making best friends, hugging best friends, losing best friends, hugging strangers. It's the teachers who bring in munchkins on the day of a hard test. It's the exchange of motivational 3 a.m. text messages between you and another classmate who also should have finished their paper last week. It's rallying around a fellow Devil, whether it's a student, an administrator, a teacher, who's just sick, struggling, or sad. It's figuring out that you rock at pottery or you stink at soccer, and maybe it was your mom and not you who was so interested in the clarinet. It's self-exploration, self-discovery, and the fire alarm always on test. Class of 2014, never forget to be grateful for all of those little things. Yes, exert energy and emotion chasing your passion, but don't forget the day-to-day happiness. The I got a killer parking spot happiness. The I love this song happiness. The Sunday morning pancakes with your best friends happiness. And as our high school memories begin to fade, that's how we'll ultimately measure the time we spent here, not in the semesters or periods or years, but a combination of all the little things that made us who we are today, the Devils. I need you all to understand that every word I've spoken here is true. This place is special, and these people are very, very special. And I couldn't be more proud to be a president of another class. I want to wish every person here the best of luck in anything they decide to pursue. I know that every one of you can do big things. And when it gets hard, remember all those little things, and ultimately where you came from. The amazing faculty here has prepared us for anything, and it's our time to pursue our next great accomplishments. In spirit of all of these things, I invite the friends, siblings, grandparents, pets, anybody else in the audience to become an honorary Devil and join us in one last Give Me an R chant that will be led by Carter Child. Class of 2014, congratulations. It's a good day to be a Dev.
What's up, Devils? One more, all right? Give me an I! Give me an I! Give me a D! Give me a G! Give me an E! What's that smell? Who do we love? Let's go, Devils! Let's go, Devils! Let's go, Devils! Let's go, Devils!
Brenda Gurumurthy.
Which one am I speaking to? This one? I don't know if I'm as good at being concise as Shay was, so I'll give it a go. Anyways, hello to all the students, family members, friends, faculty members, the oh-so-patient band members sitting in front of me today. I've never addressed a crowd this big, but I think it'll be fun. So to put it mildly, today is kind of a big deal. All those nights coming home late from practice and doing community service and writing essays while watching Game of Thrones have culminated in this moment. So we've accomplished something pretty amazing, and we get to wear these incredible form-fitting gowns on top of that. So that's a bonus. So before I get going with the profound stuff, let me introduce myself. My name is Brenda. I'm left-handed. I play an exotic-looking instrument called the bassoon, and my parents tell me that being sassy will eventually lead to my downfall, whatever that means. Also, one of my hobbies is sitting around and contemplating the meaning of life. I mean, I can't put it on my resume, but that's okay. So I was doing that the other day when I had this epiphany. I realized that the important things that we learned at Ridge weren't necessarily what we learned in our classrooms. Sure, we've read our textbooks and we know all these fun facts about mitochondria and Russian Emperor Peter the Great and things like that. And that's great for general knowledge purposes. Plus, if you want to enter Jeopardy, you might not do too badly. But that's not the most important thing. The most important things we've learned in school are the practical things. Crafting an argument, time management, finding friends. Even being nice to people you don't like is an art that high school teaches you to master. Our time at Ridge has been preseason, and we've been training for the most extreme sport of all, real life. That was a cliche. And our first game is tomorrow. But the good news is that Ridge specializes at training varsity-level athletes, even if you're a wimp like me. The Ridge experience is basically the Hunger Games. You need street smarts. And whether you want to talk in a Socratic seminar or score a goal or ask someone to prom, you can't be afraid to get aggressive and fight to the death. Well, if you ask someone to prom aggressively, it probably ended badly for you, but you get my point. Of course, there's only so much school can teach us. School tells you how to make a plan for the future and then stick to it. If you want to be a doctor, ace your science courses, go to college, take your MCATs, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, though, life is about taking your elaborate plans and watching them shatter because things don't always go the right way that they're supposed to. Take me, for example. Let's say I plan on being the next big thing in the rap industry. Forget computer science. Trashy rap is where the money's at. Besides, how hard can it be to write good lyrics? Let's analyze the chorus of rapper 2 Chainz' masterpiece, I'm Different. He says, I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. And then he pulls up to the scene with his ceiling missing. So, in case you didn't understand his thesis, he repeated it like 20 more times for you. He's different. Like, there must be some way to rephrase that, isn't there? Not to be cocky or anything, but I think I could out-rap 2 Chainz any day. My point is that I may have better lyrics than 2 Chainz, and maybe I even have more chains than 2 Chainz. Maybe I have 3 chains. Even so, no matter how I plan it, the odds of me becoming a professional rapper are about the same as the number of Oscars Leonardo DiCaprio has. 0. Sometimes, plans end up meaning nothing. With that said, just because Operation 2 Chainz 2.0 is a failure doesn't mean that I'm doomed. I think too many people, myself included, fall into the trap of mapping their lives out extensively and then freezing up when one little thing doesn't necessarily fall into place. When I tried out for forensics, my debate audition was terrible, horrendously embarrassing. See, I gave this awesome speech for the pro side of the debate when I was supposed to be arguing con. It's kind of hard to cover up an error like that one. So my dream of being this pro debater was over, and I thought I was going to have to hide my face from society and take up some weird hobby like underwater basket weaving. I mean, what college was going to like that? But I had to figure out a plan fast, because time doesn't stop for you when you're having a bad day or a mid-freshman year crisis. So instead of underwater basket weaving, I joined the forensics team and I started doing this event called Original Oratory. It's where I write and perform my own speeches. sort of like what I'm doing right now. And although it wasn't originally what I had in mind, I grew to see the beauty in writing a speech and getting a crowd of people to appreciate what I was saying. My debate debacle quickly became a thing of the past. Bottom line, stuff always goes wrong. Things fall apart. And then when they do, the best defense is to have a good laugh about it and figure out your next plan of attack. In the spectrum of things, a lot of our failures are nothing to freak out about, so relax. And there's something useful even in the worst of situations. Look on the bright side. Even if everything that you ever hoped for goes unimaginably wrong and you are embarrassed beyond belief, at least you have a good story to tell at your next cocktail party. No matter what, though, I think that the 460-ish of us are more than capable of taking whatever comes our way. We've survived the Hunger Games that is the Ridge High School experience, and that's proof to me that everything is going to be all right. So with that said, preseason is over. It's time to get our gear on and head out to the field. Congratulations, class of 2014.
And Bridget Marr.
Welcome, Superintendent Markarian, Principal Howlett, the Board of Education, our faculty and administration, and of course the parents, friends, and students of the class of 2014. It's almost shocking, really, that we have finally reached our own graduation. For years, we've been planning for these moments, when we would walk, shake hands with our principal, and receive our diplomas. All this planning, it's really funny to believe that we really started working towards our high school diploma when we entered elementary school. In elementary school, they prepared us for middle school. They gave us more homework, they gave us harder tests, and they told us to be on our best behavior. In middle school, they prepared us for high school and raised the level of demanded obedience. They enforced a strict dress code, had us drilled to a whistle system, and of course, introduced to us this new word, detention. A never-ending spiral of events that made it seem like we would never reach high school, or that once we did, it would get worse. And then we made it. Our first day of high school. We all thought we were dreaming. Don't lie. When you first left class on your own and didn't have a teacher watching you at every moment of every day, you felt free. I remember rushing home to my mom, talking about walking around the hallway without being questioned, wearing flip-flops, and chewing what turned into packs of gum a day. Then, one by one, high school years whizzed right by us. During our freshman year, we learned all the unwritten rules of high school. Don't block the 400, 500 wing hallway, don't get in the seniors' way, and especially, don't scream like the 14-year-old you are. Sophomore year, we learned a little bit more. In between studies, we learned that the pep rally really could be canceled, and that riding a kayak through the atrium wasn't the best idea. Junior year, we learned that bad things happen close to home. A hurricane tore through our town, making a mess of us as it did, and we were taught that we weren't indestructible. But we did not back down. I don't think I've ever felt more part of a tight-knit community than I did in those few weeks after the storm. Finally, we reached our senior year. The class of 2014 was free to reign over Ridge High School, and boy did we. No one will ever forget our dysfunctional family when they look back at our Spirit Week coordination, featuring Take a Break Tuesday. And they'll always remember us as the first class of Ridge High School to have a student ride their horse to school. We will always be remembered as the class that lived up to every expectation placed upon us. In middle school, they said we were trouble. Now, 4 short years later, well, I wouldn't exactly say they were wrong, but 4 short years later, we are success. Success over our studies, our college applications. Every night when we were worried that we wouldn't be able to do it, well, standing here today proves that we can do just that. We did it. Looking back on these 12 years, something stands out. No matter what friend group we were a part of, what sport we played, and what classes we took, we were always asked the same questions, demanded the same things. To take this test, to turn in that homework, to study for our SATs and our ACTs, the things that would prepare us for the future. And now, they're asking us to do one last thing. 12 years of doing exactly what we're told, and they're still asking more of us. Can you believe it? They're asking us to live our lives to our full potential. They're asking us to grow up, meet thousands of new people, and develop stories as adults, because we're not kids anymore. It seems like for the past 4 years, all we've talked about is getting out, planning to leave our small town and create names for ourselves elsewhere. Well, look where we are. Now what? High school's over. What are we supposed to do? So this is it, the start of our lives. We must put the plan into action. Ahead of us, we're going to have tough times. Times again when we're going to say, I can't do it. But when those days come, just remember that we are the class of 2014, the class of success, and the class that's going to make something of ourselves in the big world. The legacy that we will leave behind in just a few short minutes will last decades after this day. Reflecting on the near 12 years we've all spent together, I can say with as much confidence that I've enjoyed watching us all grow up, watching our successes, our failures, and the things that led us to where we are today. Every moment we've spent together, well, guys, in all honesty, it's been an absolute privilege. John Green once said, one day, you're 17 and you're planning for someday. And then quietly, without you ever really noticing, some days today, and then some days yesterday, and this is your life. So today, June 20th, 2014, as we graduate from Ridge High School, I'm going to ask you to do one more thing. Yes, I know, more people asking things of you. I promise this one will be fairly simple. I ask you to stop living your life planning. It's okay if you have a plan for a career, a plan for a family, a plan for a life. But as you plan, don't forget to live. Live a life exceeding boundaries, taking risks, and achieving everything you're capable of, because one day, it's going to be someday. And I hope when someday comes, we feel exactly the same way as we feel right now. Successful. Congratulations to the class of success, to the class of 2014. We made it.